On October 28th, there is a full moon happening in the sign of Taurus, and this full moon is an important one as it is also a lunar eclipse. This is the last eclipse of 2023. Also, this is the last eclipse we have in Taurus, at least up until the 8 to 9 years that follow. So, the energies for this eclipse are going to be powerful, and lots of different themes, maybe centering around certain similar ideas, are coming to fruition around this time. And I'll explain to you what I meant by that. But before that, just to recap, on October 14th, we had the solar eclipse in Libra. And now we're going to have another eclipse on the 28th, which is a lunar eclipse in Taurus. So the time period between the 14th and the 28th is a time of confusion, of not being sure about things, and where uncertainty comes up. So if you are currently watching this video before the 28th, there's a high chance that you're watching the video around the in-between phase time. So all I want to say is if you are going through feelings of uncertainty and not being sure of things and just feeling stagnant, just understand that this is the energy around that time, around the in-between phase of two eclipses. Is the energy is potent, so it does get confusing. It does bring uncertainty. So don't worry and don't panic, as it's normal, it happens. We are gradually moving towards energy which will put us at ease towards the end of the eclipse. Maybe even closer to the eclipse, you might find the energy eases out more. And after the eclipse, of course, it will ease out much more than what it is now. So just relax and continue with your meditation and breath work. Also, by the way, if any of you want to check out the themes around the solar eclipse that happened on the 14th, as some of those themes may be relevant and valid to you as well, I did make another video on that. I will put the link in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. There might be some things you will relate to in that video as well. Now, moving on to the lunar eclipse. So, think back to November 2021, as that is when we started to have the eclipses in the axis of Taurus and Scorpio. So, for the last 2 years, the themes that have been dominant in your life, the things that have been dominant in your life, if they no longer serve you, they are now coming up to be fully completed with this full moon. The themes are fully completing, and you are now ready to let go things that no longer serve you. Now, what that thing is, now some of you may have an idea what it is, but a lot of us don't know what it is. And that's okay, because let the eclipse illuminate for you what that thing is. Whether it's a person, whether it's a career, whether it's an idea, let the eclipse show you what that is. And it will. Trust me, it will. And once it does, you will realize how much you have grown. Like the person who you were in 2021 is no longer the same person anymore. In fact, you may even look back and think that you don't even recognize the person 2 years ago who would have dealt with the things you dealt with in the last 2 years in a much different way. If there are certain challenges you faced, there were times where you were uncertain throughout this entire 2 years about certain things. Trust that now they are finally being addressed and dealt with in a way which will be beneficial for you in the long run. And remember, an eclipse energy can be felt not just on the day, but all the way up until the 6 months that follow. So, some sort of completion is coming in your life. Another thing for this eclipse time period, especially for this lunar eclipse, is learn to forgive yourself. Now, why I'm saying that is because a lot of us tend to bog down or beat ourselves up over what happened in the past. And since this eclipse does deal with themes that you may be facing for the last 2 years, some of you may think that you did not make the right choices, or maybe if you did certain things differently, some of you may be going through situations in which you say would have, could have, all these would haves and could haves are not really something that you can change. But what you can change is the now. And understand that you made decisions based on what you knew at that moment in time. And like I said earlier in the video, you will realize how much you have grown as a person. And one of the signs of someone who has grown is the person who understands that he or she did things based on what they knew in the past. But now this version of them does things differently. So try to understand that the past does not define you. The challenges that you've been facing for the last 2 years, they don't define you. Don't beat yourself up over that. Understand that things happened the way they were supposed to happen. And an eclipse is even more faded. So it will show you events, or it will make you reminisce those events that happened in the past and make you understand that it happened for a reason. So let them go and let in new events that are for you and that will move you forward in the right direction. Also, during this time, there are lots of planets that are in Scorpio. And the one thing I will give you an advice, at least for this eclipse, and maybe even for this time period before the eclipse, is make sure you're not insensitive towards other people. First of all, if there's a difficult conversation you want to have with someone that you think could go out of hand, just wait a little bit. If you can wait to have that conversation after the eclipse, at least on the day of the eclipse, don't have it on the day of the eclipse. Maybe on after the 28th, that would be great. But if it can't wait and you need to have it before the eclipse or rather on the eclipse, just don't use harsh words when you're speaking to someone. As this time, the words you say, or rather the emotions behind your words, could be perceived in the wrong way. You may say certain things because you thought that's how you wanted to say it, but the other person may take it differently. So don't speak harshly towards other people. Think before you speak. Just make sure that what you're saying does not hurt another person. Even if you may think that it's right, maybe think again and try and understand that I don't want to hurt someone with my words or even with your actions. And your actions are also reflective of what's going on in your mind. So just relax around this time. And like I said, if you can avoid difficult conversations or difficult situations, then avoid them. But if you can't, then take precaution. And also on the flip side, if someone is talking to you and if their words seem very hurtful towards you, or rather insensitive, if they seem insensitive towards you, understand that there's a lot of energy of the eclipse that's creating this environment as well. I mean, don't lash out at them, don't get into a fight. Just calm yourself, relax, and speak to them in a calm manner and watch how things will work out themselves. Just understand that you can't always be perfect and you shouldn't strive for perfection anyway. No one is perfect. And that's the beauty of us all. Everyone has flaws, and learn to fall in love with your flaws, and other people will fall in love with them as well. And also, you're not gonna say the right thing always at the right time. So understand that, and just be authentic, be calm and respectful of others, and trust me, you will get that back as well. Another thing for this eclipse is that you may see certain new beginnings that might show up for you. Remember, every ending is a new beginning. We just don't know it yet. So if certain things are exiting your life, like it's a full moon, if certain things are completing, certain themes are finishing, then there's also going to be things that are going to be coming in. New beginnings, new things, new people, new experiences, um, new ways of doing things, and new ideas are also going to be something that may show up for you around this time. It's a very, very potent time for so many energies because we are ending a cycle that will finish with the Taurus and Scorpio axis of eclipses. We're moving on to a different cycle now. The eclipses will happen in the Aries Libra axis from now onwards. So that's why it's not just all things that are ending, it's things that will be beginning as well. So recognize that things that are coming into your life, they're being brought to by fate. As I said, eclipses are a time where we don't really have control over a lot of things, and fate is the one that's doing its thing. So trust that it knows what it's doing, and trust that it's doing the best it can for you, for your higher self, and for your higher purpose, to fulfill your higher purpose. So new beginnings will come up. Just recognize them and go with the flow and start to capitalize on these new beginnings, as you never know where it might lead you. It just might lead you to a place that you didn't even think was good for you, but it actually was much better than what you even imagined. Overall, this is a very, very interesting period. As I mentioned, this is a transition period from the Taurus Scorpio axis to the Aries Libra axis, the last eclipse in Taurus for the next 8 to 9 years, and of course, the last eclipse of this year. So, a lot of potent energies of endings, completion, things coming full circle, and of course, new beginnings, letting go to let in. A lot of good things are on the horizon as well, as the next 6 months that follow will illuminate that even more. It will show you more about the things that are about to come. So, all I want to say is hang in there, make sure to go with the flow, and trust the universe, and trust that good things are on the way for you, and good things will happen for you for sure. Trust that eventually things happen the way they're supposed to happen to lead you to a point in life. So I wish you all a great, great eclipse time period, and I wish you all wonderful new beginnings in your life. I wish you all the things that you want. You get things even better than what you have anticipated for yourself. If anything I said in this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, like this video. It really helps to take the message forward to more people. And if you are new to the channel and haven't already, hit that subscribe button and bell notifications icon so you know when I put out a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and comment to let me know what your experience has been during this in-between phase of two eclipses, and what are you looking forward to completing, what cycle are you looking forward to completing, and where in your life are you looking to welcome these new beginnings. Once again, I wish you all a wonderful time period, a wonderful month ahead, and I will see you soon with another video. Thank you.